Hi everybody, this is Gary Kay, and you are watching a special edition of my Rants and Raves, obviously a video edition of my Rants and Raves, and we're going to do a demo. As promised on the podcast the other day, we're doing a demo today of the Avocor system. I talked to Scott Hicks. If you don't know who Avocor is, you should go back and just Google on our site or do a search on our site for Avocor. You'll find a couple articles written since ISE. They launched into the market a collaboration board, and a collaboration board technology that comes in a bunch of different flavors and sizes. I am joined today by Dana Carvey. Dana Corey. Dana, how are you doing today?
Good, good. I wish I was as funny as Dana Carvey. That'd be great.
Yeah, there you go. I guess that's just and Dana, a little bit about your background, because you've been in the industry, what, about 10, 12 years now?
Almost 20 now, believe it or not.
Whoa, wow, look at that. You're dating yourself a little bit. So a little bit about your background. Talk about, you started in the industry with which company?
Actually, a small company called Folsom Research. That was a video scan converter company based in Northern California that was eventually bought by Barco.
Yeah, and then you worked for Barco, and then you went where?
I went to Prism, the hardware manufacturer, and went through the transition of hardware and introducing LPD and all that technology and large format, and then into software and collaboration and making the pivot from hardware to software and all those things. And then a good friend of mine and also industry veteran, Scott, we've been close to over the years, and the opportunity came up, and it made sense for everybody, and still, very close to Prism, but launched the Avocor, took the Avocor here in the U.S., if you will.
Well, so Avocor, as I talked to Scott the other day, Scott Hicks is a friend of mine as well. We've known each other for over 20 years. It's a collaboration board product that comes in a couple of different sizes. You're standing in front of which size right there in front of you?
This is an 84-inch.
And is it 4K or is it 1080? What's the resolution?
This is 4K right here. And all of our units, as I'll walk you through, I've got an HD, and then I've got a variety of 4K units going from 65-inch to 84-inch.
All right, so you're going to walk us through that. And we're actually going to see a demo of the product. That's what we all came for. So I'm going to switch my view here so that you're full screen. And I'd love for you to kind of do a demo and show us if you can maybe share your screen so that they can see exactly what you're doing in real. So what he's doing is he's flipping. So now we're looking at the desktop of an Avocor collaboration board, right?
Now you're seeing a full screen?
Yep.
All right. So yeah, the first thing is to, as you've talked about, Gary, and quite length on rAVe and so forth, is the collaboration board and the expansion of this market. And we'll save that topic as the expansion of the market. Also, you listen to the podcast from Scott and Gary earlier, you'll see that there's a lot of momentum there. And in this space, this open collaboration platform, our approach is to come out with a very agnostic or interoperability as a choice, if you will, in the world of collaboration. And let me kind of walk you through that. So we have the Avocor Open Collaboration Solution. Obviously, the name fits that. The first part about it is to look at the range. We've got a 65-inch in the HD. We've got a 65 in 4K, 75 in 4K, and 84-inch in 4K. The other thing that's included in all of it is a built-in PC. So you're bringing in a PC inside the unit as a built-in in all these units. But in addition to it, we'll talk about it, using the Intel Open Pluggable Standard, OPS, bringing in a slot PC, we'll talk about for room upgradability or more horsepower, okay? So it gives you a good sense of the range. And the idea of the range, as we'll talk about too, is if I can have more sizes, I begin to conquer more of the enterprise in the physical space, room types, right, Gary? So being able to move around in the space. The tablet allows me to simplify the integration in the room. It allows me to bring in apps and UC tools, which we'll talk about, that really creates a convenient landing zone, if you will. And what I like to refer to this thing as the Swiss Army knife of the meeting room, because by being a Swiss Army knife, it means I've got a saw, I've got a scissors, I've got the blade, of course. But the reality is, together, my performance is I can bring all these UC tools in, and I think we'll talk about through some of those. So that's the range there, Gary, as a line.
All right.
Okay.
Keep going.
So next key takeaways here, I want to make sure we walk away from as a group. First is, our goal here is to get a tablet-like experience, right? We really want the user to walk up and feel much like we see with tablets and laptops, very comfortable, very interactive, and very natural. That's done with our partnership with FlatFrog in-glass touch technology. And to give you a sense of that, let me pull up my thing here. I'm going to move around for a second, Gary. Okay. Oh. sorry about that. And in the Flatfrog world, what we do is they've got a traditional IR basis where a beam crosses a path, and as you cross your finger across the IR, you engage the touch. In an in-glass environment, what we've done is taken the IR layer and actually embedded it in the glass layer. What happens is I end up doing finer points with touch, faster response time, and it's an overall more comfortable experience. So while the users in the end don't really care about what the technology is, as long as it's comfortable and easy to use, we as an industry need to understand why, and there's a lot of benefits we'll talk about beyond that. But that's in-glass versus the traditional IR based, okay?
Yeah, I mean, from a user standpoint, all we care about is, does it work, and is it natural? That's the key. I mean, none of these collaboration boards are any good if when you touch it, it doesn't immediately respond to your touch.
Yeah, and the examples we live with every day are phones and tablets and laptops, right? That give us reference points towards performance. So the next thing is familiar user and IT environments. Since our PC and both our OPS are Windows-based, we're first able to get into the IT world and be re-imaged and put into IT rules around security and software because we're running on a protocol or a platform they're used to and comfortable. We're not bringing in an Android here, we're bringing Windows in, and I think majority of the time, most IT groups will tell you that this is a much more comfortable environment in getting across the enterprise. The second one is around familiar user environment. So if I'm on the Windows 10 environment or 7 or 8, as a user, I walk up and I'm very comfortable with it. But in addition to that, because I'm on the Windows environment, I'm bringing in all the things that are happening in the Windows world with the UWP, the Universal Windows Platform, apps, de jour, and different programs being created. And of course, we talk about with tools like in the UC space, compatibility, right? Bringing in those tools around the market. The next one, agnostic, as I mentioned in the UC space, what good is it to have a solution that's a collaboration board, but then limit it to only one tool set or say a few tool sets? We come at it with this open tool set to bring in a variety of things, whether I'm loading an app in or I'm connecting USB to a camera, whether it's Zoom or BlueJeans or Cisco, what have you. It's all being able to come into this environment and be a natural landing zone. If you're an IT director or facilities, this ability to have interoperability gives you the convenience to know when I put that device in the room, whatever I go to put in it, whether it be a collaboration software, a video tool, it's going to land safely, and that's worth a lot. All right. Open architecture on this side of it. Here's where the value comes in from the partner level. I'm able to come in and really offer my services on top of it, manage the system remotely, really opening up the architecture, which some systems don't do. They actually close off their system, saying, no, you can't remote monitor my system or add your services. Right. Not here. We want you to monitor it and protect it and do what's right for the customer. Room readiness. Gary, on this one, we have the built-in PC, which gives us great collaboration-based platform processing. But in addition to that, we also recognize that we have to have the ability to add more horsepower. And using Intel's open pluggable standard, which is a slot PC, they've gone out and said all PC manufacturers build on this, and from that point, platforms will begin to use the PC, which is what we do. And I'm pointing to the side because that's where we plug the OPS in. But that I could bring in i5, i7, i9s, whatever the performance level is, and then bring the horsepower. So an example would be, today I put it in 50 rooms, and I'm doing simple Zoom, and I'm doing some content share, and maybe some whiteboarding. But then 6 months later, I'm like, oh, I need to change the surrounding, to move rooms. I want to bring in some Prism software, or I want to bring in maybe AutoCAD. I need more horsepower. Slot in the PC at the moment, and you're upgraded, right? So give me that room readiness for the future. The other this substantiates around us as a company, as a brand, or manufacturing. 3-year advanced replacement warranty standard. So really coming out with a strong position. And again, the difference is 2 parts. One, the 3-year, which has definitely become rare. And the second one is the advanced replacement warranty. So just the real key takeaways, Gary, when you look at our system. Okay. Let's see here. So on the in-glass part I mentioned earlier, some things I want to highlight quickly for you. Resistance to light interference because of the in-glass versus traditional IR. Intelligent on the response time. And really, and going back to user, this idea that responsiveness on my writing and reactive. Those are just things, the traits that we need to have in a system like this. Let's see here. Next one is interoperability. We talked about already a little bit, just kind of give you a visual. You've got your wired or wireless sources. You've got your office tools, your different video environments. You've got the third party, which would be the Prisms, the Bluescapes, and others that are out there, and being interoperable with those. And of course, Skypes and Zoom and all that. There's a myriad of all of them, but the idea here is being agnostic for that visual space. We mentioned the Windows world. One thing I want to focus on this one is that there's a variety of thousands of apps being developed in the Universal Windows platform. As those apps by developers get created over the summer and into the future, those apps come in here natively, meaning that this expansion of this performance on a Windows level will continue enhanced by the developers we've seen in other places on the app development side of it. So beyond the familiarity. You know, when you look at, we go back to the lineup of the units and the sizes, you think what it gives us is the ability to move around environments and room sizes, right? So I can be in larger boardrooms, small huddle rooms, I can be enrolling, let's say, more informal collaboration spaces, or a myriad of locations. So I'm able to take a single solution that is agnostic and open, strong 3-year warranty, but then also have it fulfill a majority of the enterprise with a single solution as an operating with Avocor, but fit the physical size that are required in rooms. Okay?
Yep.
And then this just gives a visual of the OPS, the Intel Open Pluggable Standard. This just shows this PC capability. I really think this is a big differentiator besides the Windows and the agnostic others, is having the ability to add horsepower in the future. We know that 4K is pretty relevant for quite some time. We definitely know that in-glass by Flatfog is the choice. The PC power becomes the biggest variable in the space. And by doing the open pluggable, we can then change that out or add it later on, giving us a lot more horsepower. And, you know, as far as the system, Gary, overall, that's, you know, a quick summary of what it is. You know, I think I showed a little bit on the annotation side of it. Of course, really what happens next and what we do with a lot of our big clients and with our partners is use case development, interoperability, connecting these dots, if you will, into single spaces. And really that's where a lot of the successes come into, because partners and clients know that we're a safe landing in their environments, and we're a strong price point too.
So as Scott said on last week that everything is shipping now, and you'll be at InfoComm. Your booth, let me see, I think I have it written down over here because I knew that I was going to forget it. 2689 at there you go, 2689. And you'll be doing demos in the booth. Everyone will have a chance to check it out. But also your distributor partner is going to be at InfoComm as well, and they'll have a system that's Almo rAVe. They'll be in the booth with a system as well. And so here you're demonstrating the annotation technology. Of course, we had the whiteboarding. You showed us that annotation. It also has wireless capability to connect iOS, Android, Chromecast, and Windows devices to the product.
Yep.
And of course, the collaboration stuff. Because you're platform agnostic, you can use Windows-based products, you can use Box, you can use Bluescape, you can use Prism, whoever you want to use. You're platform agnostic. This is a good demo. This sort of explains the system. So booth 2689, Dana, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, Gary, very much. Same here as well. And just looking forward to InfoComm. It's going to be a great showing. We have, I think as you probably covered with Scott earlier, or early last week, was around some of the momentum happening at the show. We're going to have a lot of places where we're really demonstrating the ecosystem and major partnerships that are not only substantiating Avocor as a solution, but really embedding them in their solutions because we're the choice.
Yeah, and I look forward to that. InfoComm is going to be a great show for everyone. The collaboration board space is probably going to be one of the most popular product spaces in the industry for a little bit here because of the sort of emergence of the huddle space in the small room. And now that you have 4K, you can now push everybody right up against the screen without them having to worry about viewer fatigue because you can't see the pixels, which you couldn't do before in small rooms. Everybody has to be sitting a little farther back or they'd be uncomfortable. So that's a key factor, and you have much higher density of pixels with 4K. So I think most people are going to pick the 4K version of your product, which is the greater part of the line as well. Dana, thank you very much. If you want to learn more, you go to avocor.com, avocor.com, everyone. And thank you for watching, and have a great day.